The story begins in the majestic and imposing Galactic Council chamber, a massive high-tech space station floating at the heart of the galaxy. Hundreds of alien species fill the vast hall, their eyes focused on the Earth representatives, who stand nervously before the Council. Earth, once a proud planet among the stars, now seems insignificant. The aliens' advanced technology and superior strength have made them believe that humanity is nothing more than a primitive species. Earth's representatives, unable to offer any meaningful defense, stand with their heads low. The room echoes with alien laughter, mocking Earth's inability to protect itself from invasion. Among the alien species are a variety of terrifying creatures, with scales, tentacles, and armor far beyond anything humanity has ever seen. Zorath, the leader of the Galactic Empire, steps forward, his cold, glowing eyes fixed on the human representatives. He is a towering figure, covered in black, metallic armor with pulsating red veins running through it. Zorath is known for his ruthless ways and unyielding belief in alien superiority. As he addresses the assembly, his voice is both mocking and triumphant. "Humans," he says, his tone dripping with disdain, "your time is over. You were a joke before, and now you will be nothing but a footnote in the galaxy's history. Your primitive weapons and weak armies are no match for us. We will sweep through your planet like a storm, and there will be nothing left but ashes." The alien assembly roars in approval, some of them bearing fangs, others clicking their claws in excitement. The Earth's representatives stand silently, clearly shaken by the harsh reality of their situation. Zorath's words pierce through their defenses, each insult cutting deeper than the last. One of the council members, an alien with long, silver tendrils, speaks up in a mocking tone. "Perhaps we should just let them surrender now. Save us the trouble of the fight," they say, their voice full of scorn. More laughter fills the room. As the ridicule continues, the human representatives hold their ground, but it's clear that they have no true power in the eyes of the Galactic Council. The galaxy's most powerful species, the Kithar, the Draxians, and the Ktyanthar tribes, have all come together to form an unstoppable alliance, and Earth's defenses are laughable in comparison. Meanwhile, far from the prying eyes of the Council, Captain Ethan Drake, a retired Special Forces officer, watches the live broadcast from his secluded base on Earth. He clenches his fists, the weight of the situation pressing on him. Ethan knows Earth is in deep trouble, but there's something inside him, a long-buried instinct, telling him that humanity is not finished yet. He's seen too many battles, too many times when the odds seemed impossible. He doesn't believe the stories about Earth's doom. He believes in something more. As the council meeting draws to a close, a small, encrypted message flashes across Ethan's screen. He opens it, his eyes narrowing as he reads the contents. The message is brief, but it's enough to stir something deep within him. The weapon is real, hidden beneath Earth's surface. It holds the power to change everything. The message comes from a source that Ethan can't trace, but the urgency in the words is unmistakable. The long-lost weapon is something the rest of the world believes is just a myth, but Ethan has learned not to dismiss myths easily. But Ethan is no fool. He knows that the world is skeptical. The people who still hold power on Earth laugh off the idea of an ancient weapon hidden beneath the planet. They believe it's just a relic of some ancient human culture, and not an actual tool that could shift the balance of power in the galaxy. The world is in denial, and they're too focused on the immediate threat from the aliens to believe in anything so extraordinary. As the Galactic Council disbands, the threat of an alien invasion becomes even more pressing. Earth's military is at its weakest point ever, and the alien forces are preparing to make their move. Zorath's fleet is already on its way, and Earth has no defense. It seems like the last days for humanity are upon them, but something deep within Ethan refuses to accept that fate. Determined to find the truth behind the weapon, Ethan embarks on a journey to unlock the mysteries hidden beneath the surface of Earth. He travels to an old underground facility, one that had been abandoned for decades. The walls of the facility are covered in strange markings, symbols of a long-forgotten human civilization. As Ethan ventures deeper into the facility, he begins to uncover more clues, each more mysterious than the last. Finally, after hours of searching, he finds it, a hidden chamber buried deep beneath the Earth's crust. The chamber is silent, its entrance sealed for centuries. But as Ethan activates an ancient control panel, the doors slowly begin to open, revealing an object unlike anything he has ever seen. A sleek, metallic artifact hums to life, glowing with an energy that seems to pulse with life. It feels alive, ancient, and impossibly advanced. As Ethan steps closer, a message suddenly plays through the artifact, a voice from an era long past. This weapon was created to protect humanity. Its time has come. A cold chill runs down Ethan's spine. Could this be the key to saving Earth? Ethan stood in the eerie silence of the underground chamber, staring at the glowing gauntlet-like artifact in his hands. The ancient object hummed with power, as if it had been waiting for him all this time. As he cautiously touched it, the device powered up, sending a surge of energy through his arm. It felt like the gauntlet was alive, sensing with his thoughts, but it was unlike anything he had ever experienced. It wasn't just advanced. It felt ancient, connected to something deep within humanity's forgotten past. Ethan could feel a strange pull, as if the gauntlet was trying to communicate with him. Images flashed in his mind. Humans who once ruled the stars, wielding technologies that were long thought to be lost. A civilization powerful enough to rival any alien empire. The gauntlet was part of that lost era, and it was now calling out for someone to unlock its full potential. Ethan gritted his teeth, trying to focus. He had no idea how to use it, but he couldn't waste time. The Earth was already in peril. Suddenly, the ground trembled, and a loud roar echoed through the underground facility. Ethan's heart raced as he sprinted to the surface. From the sky, massive alien spaceships began descending toward Earth's major cities. The invasion had begun. The ships were equipped with AI-driven drones and robots, their metallic bodies gleaming as they landed, prepared to destroy anything in their path. The Earth's defenses were no match for these invaders. As Ethan struggled to control the gauntlet, he heard the sounds of destruction outside. Cities were burning. People were screaming. He could see the chaos from a nearby rooftop. Desperate, he raised his hand, feeling the gauntlet respond to his thoughts. Without warning, a surge of energy erupted from the gauntlet, and a massive pulse of light shot out, destroying an entire alien fighter ship in one blow. The ship exploded into a fiery mass, falling to the ground in pieces. Ethan stood frozen, stunned by the power he had just unleashed. His mind raced. This weapon, whatever it was, had power beyond imagination. But there was a price. The artifact's true strength came with a sacrifice, one that could cost him everything. He didn't know how much time he had before the weapon demanded its toll, but one thing was clear. Earth's survival depended on him unlocking the full potential of the gauntlet. And there was no turning back now. The alien invasion had already begun to tear Earth apart. Major cities were in ruins, and the sky was darkened by the shadow of alien warships. Ethan knew that Earth's military had been overrun, and it was up to him to lead the charge. But he wasn't alone. In the ruins of a once proud city, Ethan found a small group of surviving soldiers and freedom fighters, humans who hadn't given up yet. These soldiers were determined to fight back, but their weapons and technology were no match for the advanced alien forces. Ethan's gauntlet, however, gave him an advantage. Using its power, he could destroy alien drones with ease, their metal bodies crumpling under the intense energy blasts. Each victory felt like a small win, but the battle was far from over. The true challenge came when Zoreth, the alien warlord, deployed his massive AI war machine. The machine was huge, towering over buildings, its surface impenetrable to human weapons. No matter how much firepower the soldiers used, it barely seemed to make a dent. The human forces were outgunned, but their courage was unwavering. Ethan and the soldiers fought back with everything they had. In a fierce close-quarters combat scene, Ethan used the gauntlet's energy blasts to take down alien soldiers. The air was filled with explosions, the sound of lasers, and the cries of battle. Ethan's team made a desperate last stand, holding off the enemy to allow civilians to escape to safety. Every minute they fought felt like an eternity, but they refused to let Earth fall without a fight. But the battle was far from won. Ethan realized that the gauntlet could link up to Earth's ancient defense satellites, powerful weapons that could turn the tide of the war. However, the process to connect the gauntlet to the satellites was risky. One wrong move, and the satellite weapons could backfire, wiping out all of humanity. Ethan's heart raced. This was the only way to fight back, but it was a gamble. Failure meant complete annihilation. With no other choice, Ethan ordered his team to buy him time while he attempted to link the weapon to the satellites. As he prepared for the most dangerous mission of his life, he realized that he wasn't just fighting for Earth anymore. He was fighting for the survival of humanity itself. The war was relentless, and the stakes had never been higher. As Ethan and his team fought to defend the last stronghold of humanity, they were hit with a devastating blow. Bonner, Ethan's best friend and a fearless soldier, was killed in a brutal firefight. The alien forces had launched a heavy assault, and Bonner was caught in the crossfire. Ethan saw it all happen, his friend falling to the ground, his body unmoving amidst the chaos. A part of Ethan died with him. His grief was overwhelming, but it was his anger and sorrow that fueled him to fight harder. As Ethan stood over Bonner's lifeless body, the weight of their cause became even clearer. The alien war machine, a massive sentient robot created by Zorith, was still wreaking havoc. This machine was unlike anything humanity had ever faced. It was capable of adapting to any attack, learning from every strike made against it. No matter how much firepower Ethan and his team threw at it, the AI war machine evolved, becoming more dangerous with each encounter. It was as if the machine had no weakness, and it continued to tear through Earth's defenses, inching closer to total domination. The tension was unbearable. Ethan knew that the aliens were closing in on Earth's last line of defense. They had to act quickly before humanity's future was wiped out for good. With a deep breath, Ethan grabbed the gauntlet, ready to make his move. The ancient weapon he carried was their last hope. In a high-intensity action scene, Ethan led his team on a daring mission to infiltrate the alien base. As they made their way through enemy territory, they narrowly avoided orbital bombardment by the alien fleet. The sky above them was filled with explosions as the bombs fell like rain. But they couldn't stop now. They had a mission to complete. Their goal, to set up a counterstrike that would give humanity a chance. Just as Ethan thought they might succeed, the weapon unlocked its full potential. The gauntlet activated holographic cloaking to keep them hidden from the alien forces, and energy shields surrounded them for protection. This gave them the edge they needed to survive long enough to make their move. But even with these advancements, the AI war machine remained a deadly adversary. Every plan they made was met with resistance. It seemed like Earth's forces were on the brink of collapse. But then, in a final moment of desperation, Ethan discovered a hidden function in the weapon. It was a planetary defense system, an ancient technology that linked to Earth's orbital weapons. Ethan's heart raced as the system activated. The satellites in orbit powered up, and Earth's orbital weapons fired their deadly payloads. The tide was turning, but the battle was far from over. This was humanity's last stand, and Ethan knew they had only one shot to win. The final battle had arrived, and there was no turning back. The ancient technology that Ethan had unlocked now powered Earth's orbital fleet, giving humanity a fighting chance. In the vastness of space, humanity's ships faced off against the alien forces in an epic showdown. Explosions filled the sky as the orbital fleet unleashed their firepower, sending shockwaves across the battlefield. Laser beams cut through the darkness of space, while ships collided in massive bursts of light. On the surface, the battle raged on. Ethan and his team raced against time. knowing they had only one chance to defeat Zorath's AI war machine. It was a cinematic moment. Ethan's breath heavy, his mind focused as he sprinted towards the war machine, knowing this might be his last stand. The war machine towered over him, its glowing red eyes locked onto Ethan as they engaged in hand-to-hand combat. The sound of metal clashing against metal echoed through the air, and Ethan's heart pounded in his chest as he realized the machine's strength was overwhelming. Despite his best efforts, it seemed impossible to defeat the war machine. It adapted to every strike, learning from each move Ethan made. But in the heat of the moment, Ethan understood the true cost of the weapon. The ancient tech had a price. To activate the final destruction code that would obliterate the war machine, he would have to give up his life. The weapon began to overload, crackling with energy as its power surged out of control. In a final act of sacrifice, Ethan used the last of his strength to launch a massive energy wave from the gauntlet. The wave collided with the AI war machine, ripping it apart in an explosion that sent shockwaves through the battlefield. Zorath's war machine, the alien force's greatest weapon, was destroyed. Humanity had won. As the energy wave surged through the battlefield, Ethan's vision blurred. In his final moments, he thought of his fallen comrades, Bonner, the soldiers, and everyone who had given their lives for this moment. He thought of the strength of humanity, the will to survive, and the hope that had driven them all. The sacrifice was worth it. Earth had been saved. With the war machine destroyed and the alien fleet in retreat, it seemed like victory was at hand. But Ethan knew that this was just the beginning. Humanity's lost legacy had been revealed, and there were still many questions left unanswered. Who else was out there? What other human worlds lay hidden, waiting to be discovered? As Earth celebrated its hard-earned victory, the story of humanity's strength was only just beginning. With the AI war machine destroyed and the alien fleet retreating, Earth was left in a state of both devastation and hope. The planet had fought hard, but the victory was not without its costs. Ethan Drake, the hero who had sacrificed everything to save humanity, was gone. His name became a symbol of resilience and bravery. Statues were erected in his honor, and his story was told across the world as a reminder that humanity could overcome the impossible. Earth, though scared by the war, slowly began to rebuild. The destruction left behind by the alien forces was immense, with entire cities reduced to rubble. But humanity's spirit remained unbroken. People came together to rebuild their cities, restore their technologies, and establish a new hope for the future. The ancient weapon, once hidden beneath Earth's surface, now stood proudly as a symbol of human strength. It was not just a tool of war. It had become a symbol of humanity's resilience and determination to survive. As Earth's leaders and scientists began to study the weapon more deeply, they uncovered more of its hidden functions. The technology that had once been locked away now offered new possibilities. Humanity's place in the galaxy had been redefined. No longer would they be seen as a primitive species. Earth had shown the universe that they were capable of great strength and ingenuity. But as Earth began to heal, there was a growing sense of uncertainty. A new message had been discovered, one that had been hidden in the weapons systems all along. The final transmission revealed a faint signal emanating from the weapon, spreading across the galaxy. It was a galactic signal, one that seemed to indicate that humanity's return had been noticed. The signal was brief but unmistakable. It suggested that other lost human colonies might still be out there, waiting to reconnect with Earth. Could there be more survivors scattered across the stars? Were there other forgotten human worlds waiting to be rediscovered? As the camera panned across Earth's recovering cities, with people working together to rebuild their world, the final scene cut to a close-up of the weapon, now displayed in a central location for all to see. It hummed softly, as if alive, ready for whatever the future might bring. The screen faded to black, and the words appeared. Humanity's greatest battle is yet to come. This final message echoed in the hearts of all who had fought for Earth's survival. The war with the aliens was over, But humanity's journey was just beginning. What lay ahead? Only time would tell, but one thing was certain: humanity would never back down again.